Now this team, I expected them to win the match, but not in the manner that they did, and that's Tottenham Hotspurs beating Borussia Dortmund 3-0. It was that convincing that I'm just gonna go out and say they're through to the quarterfinals.
Last time, obviously, we spoke, it was the night before the Champions League returned for the first leg. Since then, obviously, both all the teams in the last 16 have played. I was about to say last 32, but I remember only the Europa League does that. I think there was a time when Champions League used to have 2 group stages. Those were good days. But anyway, I'm here with Kyle and Ramone. Quickly, obviously, every team has played in the Champions League.
First leg, yeah.
What would you say has been the standout results, and who would you make your favourites if it's changed from previous predictions?
I'd think standout result, which I'm gonna say.
You can have one, but I'm saying that's...
No, I think there is only one for me. Like all the other results was kind of like. No, actually, there's 2. I tell you, there's two. I tell you, there's 2. Atletico, Duffy, and Juve. Like, I didn't actually expect Juve to win away from home. I genuinely didn't. But I was thinking maybe a 1-1, and then they would seal it at home because Atletico have been strong this season. I mean, they're second in the Liga. Not that it means anything because the Liga's been poor this season.
Farmers League. Call it what it is, bro. It's a Farmers League.
Well, I said to you the other day, if that's the Farmers League, every league in the world is Farmers League.
That's cool, but is it or is it not a Farmers League? Maybe the sport is just farmers now.
Anyway, topic for another day. The Atletico game, I mean, 2-0 against Juve. I mean, they kind of got a foot in the quarterfinals now, because it's not impossible for Juve to win at home. Like, they can win 1-0, maybe 2-0, but AT don't concede a lot of goals. They're defensively solid. That second leg is going to be tough for them. They'll like to see it out.
And if they score 1, then Juve is going to score 4.
Yeah, going to need 4, and that's not going to happen. They're not going to win 4-1. They're not going to win 4-1. Yeah, he's finished. He's finished.
He's third in the race for a golden boot, golden shoe. How do you say he's finished?
He's finished. Yeah? He's playing in some Farmers League. Join the team that's won the title like 5 years in a row. Some Farmers League. It's might as well just join PSG. Any Farmers League.
We don't talk about PSG.
And the other result. Now this team, I expected them to win the match, but not in the manner that they did, and that's Tottenham Hotspurs beating Borussia Dortmund 3-0. It was that convincing that I'm just gonna go out and say they're through to the quarterfinals. I mean, and for Tottenham Hotspurs to make it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, doing as well as they are. I mean, they lost on the weekend to Burnley. And let's just put things into perspective here. If they had won that match, let's just say if, and all the results stayed the same, so Liverpool drew win. They'd be 2 and 3 points behind Man City and Liverpool. And just all and round, they haven't.
If my granddad wheel should be a bike. But,
yeah. Maybe a tricycle. But all things being said, they are having a fantastic season. I mean, it honestly can't get much better. Like, if they get knocked out in the quarterfinal,
come on, man, they're not having a fantastic season.
They are. They're having a fantastic
season.
No,
if they're in Liverpool's position, they'll be having a fantastic season.
No, because Liverpool have won trophies that they
won the Premier League for 28 years.
No, they haven't. But they've won Champions Leagues. They've won FA Cups. They've won trophies in the past. Maybe not
Champions League in the past 20 years, bro.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying their history. They've won stuff. They're a much bigger club than Tottenham.
Before I was alive, they did bits. Don't get me wrong. Since I've been here, Liverpool ain't done nothing, bro.
You can't say that. No,
they won a Champions League.
They won a Champions League. They won a UEFA Cup. They won FA Cups. And obviously Mickey Mouse Trophy.
FA Cups.
and the Mickey Mouse League Cup.
Well, Liverpool,
And they've got the Champions League finals. What's
Liverpool,
2007,
even if you compare it, right? Since you've been supporting Arsenal, since you've been watching football, how many trophies have Spurs won? Zero. One.
Cup.
Yeah. And how many have Liverpool won?
4, 5.
Oh, no, they won a Champions League, a UEFA, a couple of FA Cups, a couple of League Cups. About 7 or 8. There's all round. They're a much bigger club than Tottenham, and they're expected to do much bigger things. Tottenham are expected to do great things. I mean, they're only getting a decent sized stadium now.
Well, if you talk to their fans, they're expected to win trophies.
Yeah, they want a trophy now because they think the time is right. But this doesn't mean that it doesn't.
At the start of the season, Spurs fans said, "Yeah, they're going to win a trophy this year. This is it.
Okay,
win a trophy this
okay,
year."
and they can.
What trophy they're going to win this year? Champions League.
It's not impossible. Worst teams have won it.
Put it like this. All I say is, if this will be the best chance of winning. I ain't saying they're even up there with the favourites.
Champions League.
But this will be their best yet in terms of, because Barcelona ain't as good as they have been. Real Madrid, we know they're not as good. Juventus, I mean, they're nearly out there, hanging on by a coattail.
But Atletico's tough either one.
But of course they are. But I'm saying one of those, one of them two are going out. Man United are going out. Who's other big? Bayern Munich, Liverpool. One of those two are going out. If Liverpool go through, obviously there's a way up in terms of what they focus on, etc. So, for me, for the underdog, you could say, this is probably the best year since 2004 in terms of winning a Champions League.
Nah, when Chelsea did it.
2012.
Yeah, that was
because
underdogs, man.
No. I'm not saying that underdogs cannot win it in other years, but in terms of looking at the path to the final, Chelsea winning the Champions League that year weren't easy. They had to beat Barcelona and a good Barcelona team in the semis, and then they had to beat Bayern Munich in the final. And again, they were under the caution in both those games. Whereas I'm saying the big teams, the super names, aren't as strong as they have been in previous years. So Spurs' path is easier than it has been, and it's probably as easy as it's going to get, because all those big teams are going to strengthen. Bayern Munich's going to revitalise and buy players like Hudson-Odoi and other players like Alexis Sanchez. Maybe we can take him off our hands. But,
I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
I ain't saying that they're going to win it. I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying. I still feel like it's not. I still feel like it looks like maybe depleted because of the way, like Barcelona for me are a very, very strong team.
Messi's a strong player. Messi's a strong player.
They're a strong team, but they're not as strong as they were in 2000.
That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, but I don't think they're ever going to get to that stage. But it's not saying that they're not.
No, but I don't think they're
strong.
Sorry, it's 2000 and what?
Oh yeah, you didn't.
I know. Yeah, no, I want to see 2000 and what?
Whoa, Pep's, yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm even saying even under the Neymar Suarez. Messi, that Barcelona, this team ain't even as good as that. So,
but it's,
they don't have to get back to, because if they were good as that team, which wasn't as good as Pep one.
Wait, what? That team was better than Pep.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
That Emerson team.
Those three, you were as good, but no, it wasn't.
Okay,
and then,
that three was the team.
And even then, the three. That Barca 11 had a three. Like
okay.
Messi.
Okay, but that
actually,
three would have ripped Pep's team.
No, they wouldn't. Because they wouldn't even get the ball. They wouldn't get the ball. Xavi and Iniesta.
Pep Barca team.
Yeah. No problem, Xavi and Iniesta. They ain't getting the ball.
This guy's lost, man.
But it's like, because I think the way Man City are going on this year, they are. Spurs have to look at that and say that if I'm looking at the teams that Spurs can beat, I don't feel like they can beat Real Madrid over 2 legs. I don't feel like they can beat Barcelona over 2 legs. I don't feel like they can.
They did it last year in the group stage.
And Real Madrid were better last year than this year.
Yeah.
The group stage isn't 2 legs. Like
no, it's not.
But this is what, like last year, yeah. If Spurs had Real Madrid in over 2 legs, they weren't beating them. I don't think. Like the group stage, you can't really compare them. Like even this year, the group stage they had Barcelona and they managed to get through. But for me, if those 2 games are over 2 legs in a must-win game to go through, I couldn't see them winning that. Like the second game,
I'm not even disagreeing. But the point is, for me, they have more chance of beating this Real Madrid over 2 legs for me than they would have had last year, the year before that, and they probably will have next year, the year after, because this Real Madrid team for me is the weakest. Well, since Ronaldo joined, pretty much. Since Ronaldo joined in 2009, this is probably the worst Real Madrid team I've seen. And they're gonna have to strengthen. So I'm just saying, for me, the underdogs. I say underdogs. PSG were up there with the favourites, but teams who haven't won it before, who are looking for their first part of European history. PSG, Man City, Spurs, Atletico Madrid. I don't know if they've got a European Cup, but obviously they've come close in years. Even Dortmund, I know they're probably going now. For me, this is their year. And if they don't do it, like in 2004 when there was Deportivo, Monaco, Porto, Chelsea, of course, in the semi-final. Porto won it. Monaco ain't won it since. Deportivo ain't even come close since. And I know then Chelsea won it in 2012. But I just feel that a team like Spurs, who are not going to go and spend let's say
Spurs get to the semi-final, right?
They're not going to spend.
No, but let's say Spurs get to the semi-final. It's Spurs, PSG, Barca, and Man City. Would can they look at it really and say, this is our year that we probably could have Spurs, Barca, PSG, Man City?
I think they will go into, other than the man.
For me, it's only the fact that they got to the semi-finals why they only say that. Apart from that, they will look at that thinking, boy, to get past any of these 3 is mad.
I hear that, but out of those 4, 3 of them, I'm saying this is their PSG for me. This is their year. Like, well, not that the year that they're gonna win it, but they really have to, because if they don't win it this year,
I don't think they're good enough.
They might not be, but I'm saying if they don't win it this year, it's like, what's the point of all this investment?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Neymar and Mbappe are going to leave, and it's like, where do you go from there? So they really have to win. So if they get to the semi-finals, I would predict one of the 3 other than Barca will win it. Man City, PSG, and Spurs. If those 3 plus Barca get to semis, Barca, I wouldn't have any money on Barca winning the thing, because the other 3 need it more. Barca come back again next year. They'll come back again the year after that. They'll come back again the year after that. Well, I don't know. For me, I'm like,
but that's like Man City. Man City are going to come back every year from now on.
Man City will. But
Barca got the history. Like, Barca will win it in the next 5 years, I think. Like, Man City, they may not win it.
They may not. It's like they should. They should, because they spend money. But they may not. Well, look at Chelsea. Chelsea got all this money in 2003. They didn't win until 2012. And that was probably the worst Chelsea team after all those years to get into the semis.
But they've always been crap.
Yeah,
but that Chelsea team, from 2003 right to 2012, those 9 years, they've been more successful than Man City since Man City got the money. So I don't understand what you're.
But the Man City was crap as well.
Of course they've been sick. Semi-finals on non-stop. Semi-finals, and only losing to Liverpool most of the time. And the rest of it here.
Them brick academy players.
For me, I had Juve as my favourites.
Yeah, they're not in it no more.
Your favourite choice.
So make a new favourites. Make a new favourite.
I had Man City favourites win the league, so I think those are pretty decent bet. But yeah, Juve favourites to win it. Again, yeah, they look like they're going out, but we don't know. They're not gone yet, innit? Yeah. And if they get through this, they stay as my favourites.
You can't pick and choose. Is that favourites or not? Who's your favourites?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
so every round you have a different favourite.
I said if they go through, I'm sticking to them as my favourite. So
right now, who's your favourites?
I can't even finish what we're talking about.
No, it's asking you a question. Wait. Right now, are you changing your favourites?
That's the question I'm trying to answer. For me, the standout results, of course, PSG, Spurs and Atletico Madrid. But I don't think Juventus are going through. So therefore, no, they are not my favourites. I don't think they're going through. I don't know what you want me to do. I do. But I would say, if Man City weren't in the title race that they're in, I would put them probably as favourites. But they are in the title race that they're in. So I have to go PSG at this point. I think this is the year that they have to really do it. If they don't, man,
well, Barcelona.
Give up, man. Barca ain't winning that, man.
What? Messi's on things this season. Messi's on things this season.
No, he is.
He's on things.
Well, you say that he's on what 24 league goals this year, or maybe might be 25. I'm not sure. And Mbappe's on. Mbappe's on 22. So
and that's a goal a game.
He's on things. Mbappe's on things.
Yeah. Farmers League. And he hasn't got that much.
Mbappe got 22. He got 22 in the league. Bagged 2 on the weekend.
No penalties.
No
penalties since, when Neymar and Cavani have been in. He's not scored.
Oh, okay. So now them two are out.
Wait, how many games have they played in that league?
One more than La Liga and Serie A, I know that. Yeah, because Messi's on 25, I think it is. Mbappe's on 22. And Ronaldo's on 19. But La Liga and Serie A's probably one less than Liga. But yeah, I would say from right after, based on the first legs, and I know obviously PSG beat Man United, but it's not the beating of Man United why I'll say they're the favourites, because we were never one of the favourites. But there was no Neymar, there was no Cavani, Verratti was half fit, and Mbappe is just he's something else, he's something else. So if Ronaldo pulls it off in the second leg, then we'll come back to the podcast, but we'll see. Ramone, I know you're trying down Tottenham, but
listen, I mean,
ever give them credit, innit?
Yeah, I mean, they done well, innit? They beat Dortmund. I think I predicted a draw, maybe a score draw. But Dortmund are poor, man. They were poor. They were poor that game. I mean, to be fair,
they were better than Spurs in the first half, I think.
Yeah, they were.
90-minute game, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying you said they were poor. But I was like, if they were poor, then equally Spurs must have been good.
Yeah, Spurs are good, but Dortmund were poor. I expected better. I expected this to be better from Dortmund, but then if you look at the league now, they look like they're almost throwing it away. Bayern like clawing that back. So
it's like 3 point different now.
Yeah, 3 points, and they literally just almost threw the game away on Saturday. So Leverkusen just about beat them. So I mean, since the turn of the year, their form was just starting to drop, and it's exactly what we said at Christmas, isn't it? It's like you don't know what's going to happen in February. Between Christmas and February, but a lot can change, and I think they've had a few injuries and their form has just dropped, and they can't get it back. So, I mean, yeah, Spurs did good, but I feel like with Spurs, it was because they didn't have the players, which made it even better. Like because they didn't have Kane, because they didn't have Ali, the Tongans playing wing back. And so it made it look a lot better. You know what I mean? If Kane and Ali were there, I probably would have predicted them to win on that first leg.
Not 3-0 per se,
not 3-0
but
maybe,
win.
But to win. So the fact that they didn't have them, and they got them to come back in, strong team, beat Dortmund. But I mean, unlike you, my favourites don't change leg to leg. So it's still Man City from the start. It's still Man City.
If Man City were 2-0 down for Atletico Madrid, you would not have them favourites, innit? You would not have them favourites. That's the reality. What do you want me to do?
I'll tell you why there's still would have been favourites, because when they're 7 points down in the league to Liverpool.
Atletico Madrid and Liverpool.
No. They're 7 points down.
They're not bottlers. They've actually won a league title in the last 29 years.
People said Liverpool have to go as favourites. I said no. I said for me, Man City, I'm going to stick to them to the end. Both the league and Champions League. Double.
So we're saying treble. They won one already.
I mean, the thing is, we didn't even speak about the cups when we did our predictions. So we didn't even say who would win the League Cup or the FA Cup. And I didn't.
Oh, you would have had Man.
No, I wouldn't have had Man. I don't know if I would have had Man.
Ron's done that a lot this year. I wasn't on the last podcast, but I did predict that.
I predicted
He's done that a lot this season.
I predicted a double on it, but I didn't expect them to go win the cup as well. I mean,
so we're saying treble, yeah?
Well, they're on for the quadruple, aren't they? I mean, really and truly, who they got to beat in the FA Cup? Man United.
Wolves. Man United Wolves.
Swansea.
Millwall. Wolves are very good too.
Man City won that with their hand behind their back, man.
Quick question.
They actually have
Reserve team.
Quick question. I don't think Man City's will win. I think it's between Man United. I think Man United or Wolves will win it personally.
But Man City got them, man. The quadruple.
Well, forget the quadruple for a second, because obviously the FA Cup's not, that's not done. But Man United won the quadruple of Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League. Treble of FA Cup, Premier League, and Champions League. If Man City were to win the treble of Premier League, League Cup, and Champions League, where do they rank alongside the Man United team? Like better, worse, same?
Well, in the previous podcast, I said that they're the greatest Premier League side of all time. So that doesn't change anything.
Oh, so if they don't win the Premier League this year, they're still the greatest?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's no FA Cup basically switched for the League Cup.
As good, partly because they're retaining the league as well. As well as winning the 3, they've retained the league and the Champions League and the League Cup. I mean, for me, the problem is people don't treat the FA Cup as they did back then. Back then, it was quite a big thing to win. Like, it wasn't a big thing, but it was treated with more prestigious. Now, the fact that if you look at the FA Cup now, the amount of teams that are in it, like Liverpool played a dreadful side in their team.
They were all ill.
They're all ill.
That
was it.
They were all fit the week before and the week after.
I mean, obviously, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea drew. Obviously, Man United,
yeah.
so that was unfortunate that.
But even then,
2 big teams got knocked out.
Like the Man United Arsenal game, changes were made.
Yeah.
And we made changes for the Chelsea game as well. I don't know if Chelsea made any changes in that game. I can't remember.
But it's not as a priority as it was back then before. So, where it's basically League Cup and the FA Cup teams you're putting out are practically the same people, really. So I mean,
so we saying just wipe that off the table. So even if they win a quadruple, it's really only a double. I heard that, man.
For me, every cup's prestigious.
It's a community too.
Every cup's prestigious, isn't it? And if you do that, I think. I mean, I'm not comparing this game to game, team to team as it was back then to now, so I can't say which is more difficult. But I mean, putting that all aside, I'd say, as good as that team. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're better or they're worse, but I'd say as good.